Hello everyone. So in today's video, the theme is symptoms and diagnoses. I'm actually going to start with the diagnoses. I have been diagnosed with psoriasis, as I mentioned in the last video, and with hypermobile EDS. We ran the genetic testing through Invitae and nothing came up, which means that it's the hypermobile type. And we did this for me and all of my kids. We have been diagnosed with some form of orthostatic syndrome. The type is not known. It is not POTS, but we do feel a lot better if we get electrolytes in with our water and we make sure we have a high enough salt intake. We do have to balance that with blood pressures so that we aren't raising our blood pressures too high. Obviously, weight plays a factor in that. On top of that, I have been diagnosed with pancreatic insufficiency, and a number of my family members actually show signs of that. That's at least what the doctors are calling it right now. There is some signs in my mind that it actually may be some form of gastroparesis or things like that can be more common with EDS. But in order to not have it look even worse on our notes and treatment and stuff like that, the doctor feels he wants to call it pancreatic insufficiency. Part of that is we also want to treat at the lowest level possible. So if we can treat without any intervention whatsoever, that's the best possible in my doctor's mind and my mind, as we've talked about how to treat for me and all of my children. If that's not possible, the next step is manual treatments, things like physical therapy, things like that you can do without any real need for any other types of intervention. When that doesn't work, the next step we like to look at is, are there pharmaceutical interventions we could use? That does include things like essential oils. My doctor's plenty fine with us trying those types of things out, things like that. But the minimal necessary there. Over the counter is preferable to prescription in his mind, and in our mind too, until the point that doesn't work, at which point go prescription. We do live in an area that CBD is allowed to be prescribed by doctors. We have talked that over with our doctor, and the idea is let's wait until it's bad enough that the other things aren't treating it, and at that point then treat it with CBD. From there, then surgeries would be the next step, because you can't go back from a surgery, whereas you can from medications. And so that's kind of the way we treat our idea of treating the symptoms. My doctor's really happy with that plan, because then we have options in the future, and that's a big thing. Is his plan is to make sure we're good not just now but in the future. So those are actually, that basically covers my symptoms. I don't have as many of the symptoms as a lot of people. I have talked about I'll get really exhausted at times, different things like that. But for us, this is what's working for me and my family at this time. Some of my kids are worse, some are better. And it depends on the time of year, as I've talked in other videos. And it's not even the same for me as it is for a sibling or things like that. So I hope that helps give you guys some ideas. There are so many comorbidities that can go along with EDS. that it's very hard to go into each one, and I will try maybe once the awareness month is over to go into those. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.